Another option that's available is the use of a DDNAME parameter on the JCL statement itself. Now, in addition to what we just looked at with respect to the use of symbolics, which is certainly a very useful tool, but we also have the issue of attempting to override a statement in the event that this proc is being run as a start command. Now, in that case, we don't have the ability to submit any JCL like we do with a job. So as a result, we can code a DD statement, and as a result, lend some flexibility to being able to override parameters on an operator start command. And so as a result, what happens then is that wherever this is coded, this defers the DD definition until the specific DD name is actually encountered. And as a result, what we're doing is that if the reference DD name does not exist, it's simply treated as a dummy file and it has no effect. So in this particular case, let's imagine that the operator issued a start command for our gen proc that we were looking at earlier. And you can see the messages here from the system console indicating that we have started gen proc. You can see the system indicating that it is started, and you can see the system indicating when it is ended. So in this particular case, the job starts and ends just like it did when we submitted it under our TSO ID. It's issued from the system console, and that's why we see the start command here as the very first entry. Now overall, this proc is going to be searched for in the normal proc-lib concatenation. So in this case, the gen proc is located in a system proc library, and as a result, that's where the system is going to search for it in order to expand it and run it. So in this case now, what we've done is that we've done the same thing now, except we have a start command where we're specifying the data set name and the disposition. And in this particular case, what we would do is that we would have a special DD name that is going to be generated as a result of us coding it this way. Now what's relevant here is that there is no way to override normally. And so one of the facilities within the system is that there is this special DD name called IEF-RDER, which allows us to override DD statements that are coded within a proc that we are using in a start command like this. So what will happen then is that it'll automatically be recognized when we have this coded. And what's important is these are not symbolic parameters. We are coding these parameters so that they will be generated on this special DD name. So let's take a look now at what that's going to look like in practice. In this case here, now you can look at our gen proc and you can see that we have a proc name of IEF proc, which is required in order to make this work. And you can see now that the sysut1 has the DD name equals IEF-RDER. So that indicates that the system will use the sysut1 when he encounters a value for IEF-RDER. If nothing had been specified, it would be treated as a dummy data set, input would be null, and as a result we would hit end of file immediately. However, but by coding it the way we did, you can see that the system generated this IEF-RDER override and put in the dataset name and the disposition that we had coded on that start command. And this is the way this works. And this is used in a lot of system procedures where there may be a need to specify values to override what's out there so that there's some flexibility in the start command in the event that an operator has to change a dataset name or change some other attributes that would normally be associated with such a proc. So this IEF-RDER represents a very special case of things that you can do to override JCL when you're using a start command. And it is limited to only using the IEF-RDER statement, as well as requiring that the proc be called IEF proc. So normally you will see this for procs that only have one step in them. It is not viable to do this for multiple steps, and normally you would not see multiple step jobs being executed with a start command as a normal way of processing. So this is just another thing to keep in mind as another vehicle that we have to be able to control the JCL that we are executing depending on the method that we use to actually run it.